You just downloaded the show that was nominated Best Entertainment Podcast of 2013, only to be beaten by The Walking Dead. That's where Tony's at, Spy Shack. That's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking, Tony is a listening, wearing next to... Hello, everybody. This is Survivor Talk with D&D. I am Dwayne.
And I am the non-merge buff-wearing David.
Yes. And we are just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And tonight is our recap show of Survivor Episode 7. That's right, Episode 7, Mad Treasure Hunt.
Man, I was worried about my voice, and you swallowed a frog.
Yeah, I am very tired. I am, like, beyond tired. I was up really early this morning, traveled 7-8 hours on a charter bus, came back. Oh, whoa, just a second.
I got the wrong notes. Where's my notes?
There we go.
Well, I don't have any notes, so it's all on you.
You don't have any notes?
I printed it, and it didn't go. I just got home before it started, and I just finished watching.
Oh, that's all right, man. Hey,
Thanks,
so are we going to do a feedback show this week?
I think we should. I felt really bad about not doing one last week after such a great episode.
Well, we're going to have to do it on Monday then.
I will make plans to do it Monday.
Okay, so we will do our feedback show on Monday. Is feedback due on Monday or on Sunday? Let's make it on Monday.
Sure.
Feedback due on Monday at 7 p.m. Is that what time we normally do it? I don't remember.
Yeah, let's just do it as late as possible. That way we get less time to prepare.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Get your feedback in no later than that. Keep it under 5 minutes at the most, 3 to 5. Use our audio form. Gosh, I am so tired tonight, David.
You can use our audio link that's on our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. It's really easy. Click it and speak into your computer, and it'll sound awesome.
Or create an audio file on your phone and then mail it to us at feedback@survivortalkwithdnd.com. Or you can write an under 3-minute, maybe 5-minute email to us. Just remember, if it takes you longer than 5 minutes to read it, it's going to take us longer than 5 minutes to read it.
Right? And if you use that link on our website, if you don't have a microphone, try to get into a room without a lot of background noise.
Yes.
As quiet as possible. And if you do have a microphone, it really won't matter as much because the microphone will pick you up. But if you don't, you do it anyway, but just get into a room where nobody's bothering you and go for it.
Go out and buy one of these. You like my microphone?
That's awesome.
I love my microphone.
It's a red-blue.
Yeah, it's actually orange.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's the Spark.
Okay.
XLR. Anyway, Amazon. Shop it.
There you go.
No, seriously, we are Amazon promoters. We are affiliates with them, or I am. And if you will shop Amazon and use our link to do so, you will help the show Survivor Talk with D&D. And you are doing that. I appreciate you doing that. If you want the new and improved Catching Fire movie, there's a link to it right on our website and other things. Also, David, do you like my buff? I have the merge buff on.
It's pretty snazzy. You kind of got the Spencer look going.
I definitely look like Spencer tonight. Well, let me take off my glasses, take off my shirt. You can see my six-pack. Isn't that impressive?
Very much so.
There you go. So anyway, I got the nice buff here. If you want a Survivor Cagayan buff, you can see my 3 buffs back here behind me. David didn't have time to put his up. And my nice buff. I think they're what? How much are they, David, on Buff Inc.? Like $22, something like that?
Yeah, but there's also sales all the time. So you might get like 20% off or something. And if you get like a login to CBS and you get emails from them, they will send you discounts.
Oh, okay.
They send it to me all the time.
All right, but go to buffinc.com. You can also follow the Buff logo on our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. David, are you ready? Initial thoughts. I want me some Outback Steakhouse.
Finally got a sponsor back in the show. Much better than the 7-Up sponsor we had a few years back.
I liked it. It doesn't bother me. First of all, I don't mind at all that they have sponsors in the show during the show. That does not bother me at all.
I don't mind. I don't mind either. I thought it was real. I mean, it just makes it even better to me. It just because you know what you're getting, and the setup was really neat. Was it the Outback Shack? Is that what we called it?
Yeah.
So I thought it was really neat.
By the way, those of you who are from Australia, the Outback is not really an Australian restaurant. Some guys got together and said, how can we make our restaurant more attractive to Americans? And they said, all the Americans like Australians, so they went with an Outback theme. That is the truth. But anyway, we'll talk about it later, but I want me some Outback. And I haven't had meat since like the middle of January, and that steak made me want meat.
I think I'll go have one in your honor.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go low on meat, but you just kind of gave that up, didn't you?
No, I've cut back on meat.
Oh, okay. My blood pressure, since I've given up meat, my friends, my blood pressure is 122/78.
Welcome to my world.
There ain't no way your blood pressure is 122/78.
Do you want me to get my medical report?
Yes, David. Medical report.
I'll give you my medical report. I've never had high blood pressure.
David, stand up. Cough. Okay. Here we go.
No, we're not going there.
More initial thoughts. Wu is sneaky ninja.
Yes.
He is a sneaky ninja.
Stealth ninja mode.
Yes. You know what's interesting? I guess we'll talk about it later. I really debated with myself, did Wu break the rules or not? Now, ultimately, I decided he did not break the rules. But when I first saw it, I thought, you can't just take his idol from him. You know, but then I got to thinking about it, and people take idols and bury, or people take other people's stuff and bury them, and Survivor has allowed them to do that.
Well, they've allowed him to do so much, but they don't let him take everything. But it wasn't the idol, of course, it was the clue.
Well,
but
I mean, yes,
he kind of stole it from him. And I think he knew exactly what he was doing. That was like a theft. You know, it was his. You know, I mean, Spencer found it. He didn't win it, but he found it. He got lucky, pure and plain lucky to sit down at that seat unless the cameraman said, let's sit this way. I think you guys would look good. You know, LJ, Spencer, then Morgan, then so-and-so, then so-and-so. You know, unless the cameraman pulled that one, then Spencer got lucky and he found it. But, yeah, that's kind of – but you know what? Like Gracie said, Spencer, you idiot. Why did you leave it over there? You know, if it's so important, you would never have left it. Why would you walk away? Just pick up your stuff and walk back.
Yeah.
So
there is a crease in which he could have put it. But nonetheless, my point is, why is Wu allowed to take something that belongs to someone else? This is the great debate for this week, if it even is a debate. But to me, it's kind of a debate because I think Wu was sneaky and took something that did not belong to him. I almost feel like if Spencer had complained and said he took my stuff, that they might have made Wu give it back.
If they could catch Wu.
Well,
but when Wu goes zip, 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 you're not going to catch Wu. But at the same time, Spencer, to me, is smart enough. He should have read the clue and buried it and put it away. He never should have kept that clue with him. It didn't appear to be that long a clue, but once he got to the point where he was pretty confident where it was, he should have buried it or tore it up or done something to it. He's smart enough. He should have had it memorized and buried it.
Yeah. Any other initial thoughts, David?
Yes, I have two that I like to share since we've only covered yours so far. I think we can come to the conclusion that Kass is an Andy Baker fan because, as she clearly stated, you have to treat the person at the bottom as well as you treat everybody else, and that's Andy's call sign. I think that he loves that phrase, and it's so important. You know, if you don't treat him that way, Cochran will flip. And if you don't treat him that way, Kass could flip. She felt like she got put to the bottom. But I thought that was kind of neat. But also, I almost felt like I was watching Lost because I felt like the island was part of the game this episode.
Oh, cool.
Because when Spencer came back, he was good Spencer, smart Spencer. By the end of the first night, he was not so smart Spencer and kind of backlashing at Kass, you know, being a little antagonistic, and then he fought back at her. As soon as he apologized, whether it was sincere or not, but as soon as he apologized, he found the idol. Not until he apologized for his actions.
So the island.
He found the idol. So the island is playing the game too. The island pushed up the clue, pushed up the idol right after he apologized and said,
yes,
here I am.
but not the idol for which he had a clue. But I'll talk about that later. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he didn't get the idol for which he had the clue.
Yeah.
More on that later.
We got bamboozled.
In the episode.
Okay.
All right, previously on. Guess what? Kass flipped.
No.
There you go.
Kass made a move.
Well, I know, but they said she flipped.
Exactly.
Later on, we find out that Kass says, I didn't flip. I just made a move.
You know, basically, previously on here lately, it's just, this is what you're about to see in this episode. There's a new idol, alliance versus alliance. That's it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it is night 19 at Solarion, which sounds like a science fiction movie. Solarion.
It does. Well, Solaris is a science fiction movie.
Of course, Spencer's going to come back and, nice move, everybody, even though he's been brewing for the last hour and a half, waiting to get back to camp so he can talk.
And this is where that long walk or long ride back can be good. Spencer comes back in the most pleasant move and says, hats off to you. Great job. You were smart. You did the right thing. I love how he says, I'm not upset. I just don't think you made a good move.
Right.
And I'm thinking, way to be nice. Way to support Kass. You're not mad at her. And Kass is looking at you like, hey, you're not fussing at me. You're not wanting to take my head off. And Spencer's like, no, that was good. For now, he's not wanting to take her head off.
Yeah. He'll save that for later.
Yeah, give him a few hours with Kass explaining her strategy, and that'll kind of push him over the top.
Yeah. Kass is like, hey, I expect everybody to be mad at me. I don't care. I'm a lawyer. Everybody's always mad at me.
Exactly.
Mad at that.
But I find it hard to fathom that Kass never was told that she was in the top 5 alliance. She says, or at this point, she says, I hope you guys will cover me. And Trish and Wu speak up right away. Yeah, we'll cover you, until we don't need you. But, yeah, we'll cover you. And throughout the whole episode, we get her talking to them and them including her. But she keeps saying, I've never been pulled into her alliance. I've never been told that I was in their alliance. I'm like, do you have to be told? I mean, does somebody have to come up and say, we want you in? Or the fact that they're including you and asking you, who do you want to vote out, should make you feel like you're part of an alliance. But this is Kass. Kass is a one-man wrecking crew, or one-woman wrecking crew. This is how she's playing. And like she said, she's playing by her gut. She came in like a wrecking ball. But she's smart. I heard you, and I heard your song. But she calls herself a free agent, and yes. She is now in control. She is absolutely have the swing vote this time.
I like what she said. Everyone is mad because I messed up their game because I played my game.
Right.
I like that.
It's good because the more she does that, the more she sets her up as a candidate to go to the end with somebody.
Right. So do you think Spencer telling her, look, I'm not mad at you, I just think it was a bad move, was just him trying to be nice, but in reality he is mad at her?
I think it was 99% him trying to be nice.
Yes.
Absolutely. But he was being honest. It's just the way he delivered it was so considerate. It was so smooth.
Right.
It was like the way Tyson came back from tribal council saying, good job, guys, you did it. Or you did a good job or something.
All right, so what did he apologize for later? What did she say? Because later on she says, look, I don't agree with what Wu did to you, but it's kind of karma for how you acted the other night.
Well, at the end of that scene, I think it was before the intro, she kept talking about strategy, and he just got riled up saying, I don't want to listen to you talk, but just stop talking. Just be quiet. He just got louder. For Spencer, it was probably, a very negative side of him, which wasn't really that negative. But to me, and I told Gracie, I said, there's the guy I expected to see from the preseason interviews. There's the guy that's mad at somebody that didn't play his game, and that's the guy I've been waiting to see. I'm like, all right, now we're seeing a little bit of the Spencer that we've been looking for.
This was the first time we saw Spencer, or that I saw Spencer, not in full control. Like he was kind of allowing himself to say things that if he had thought a little bit, he wouldn't have said.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because
Absolutely.
This whole game, he has been very good, at least from what we've seen, at being able to manage what he says. Like my mom used to always say, think before you speak, Dwayne.
Right.
Which I did not usually adhere to.
And your wife was supposed to carry that on as you got married.
So this was an example. It was the first time in the whole season I saw Spencer and thought, oh, don't lose it, don't lose it. And he kind of said stuff I think he later on wishes he could have taken back.
Yeah, because we've been seeing the education of Spencer all through Luzon. He's had to work his way into every situation where he wasn't the vote out, and he did it really well. And like you said, this is the first time we got to, but it's getting to the nitty-gritty. This is absolutely my favorite part of the season, the merge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, this was a great episode. Loved it. I mean, it's not an epic, but it was a really, really, from front to start, front to end, start to beginning, start to end, whatever you call it. It was a good episode.
Insert your own phrase there.
Thank you very much. That was right. Put in your words.
Enter your phrase. It was a great episode.
That's right.
You ready for day 20 next morning?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, David, I need some water.
Okay.
Maybe Morgan could get off her lazy butt and go get me some?
Well, I'm sure she wouldn't mind getting you some, just so long as you're not rude to her and tell her. But by the way, before I do, I'm going to give Dwayne 2 blurs with 1 move and give it to Kass. She got a mouth blur and a finger blur to
Yes.
Kass. That's 2
Yes.
blurs. No, stop, Morgan. Stop giving him points.
That's what I'm talking about, Morgan. Lots of blurs.
That's right.
No, but, Kass, we saw a little bit of the catty Kass.
You saw the little bit of I can say what I want to say.
And what was great was we get to see a little catty Kass, and Tony and the rest are just kind of like, Morgan, yeah, why don't you get us some water? And sometimes when this happens, when you get a catty Kass type of player, and they do that kind of stuff, the rest of the tribe just kind of stays out of it.
Right.
But they were like, hey, the water isn't just for Kass, it's also for us. So go get us some water. Get off of the bamboo things and go get us some water. I'm very tired tonight.
I don't know who that was, but I don't think it was Tony.
It was Tony imitating somebody else.
And if Kass cared, she could have used a different approach, like, hey, would you help me get water? Would you carry another thing? But she doesn't care.
She was being an instigator.
And neither does and look at Kass smiling. When Tony says she has no facial expressions.
Well,
and I love that comment. You cannot tell what she's saying. But when she smiles, she knows she's teasing. She's poking. She's having fun.
Those buttons everybody has?
Yep.
Kass was poking on them.
She was pointing at him, and even Tony was poking him without realizing he was doing it for her.
One of my tweets at Survivor_talk that got so many retweets and favorites this week was earlier, I guess like maybe yesterday, I put a picture up of Morgan, and I put a fake quote underneath it. Mm-hmm. It said something about there's this old lady that's driving me crazy on this island, and that thing got like lots of action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody, well, I'm not even going to go there. But anyway, it was fun. So Kass is admittedly pushing the buttons. And Morgan, she was laying on the bamboo. She didn't look bad laying on the bamboo.
But as we've seen and heard, that's like what she's mostly doing, is laying on the bamboo.
Yeah, and we hear that later. In fact, you know what, David? There is so much more we could talk about Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to go into all of those, Jeff? We'll get to that later. She's like an old dog, a 14-year-old dog that you don't care if she pees on the floor because you're going to keep her around anyway.
You tolerate.
You tolerate the dog.
You love them, but, they're not going to do anything special.
Yeah. Reese Brown on YouTube, don't tell me never to use that accent again because that's just going to make me want to use it again.
I'm with you, Reese.
All right. You don't mind if she pees on the floor. Anyway, I doubt Morgan has ever been compared to a dog. Because in all honesty, okay, neck up, Morgan is very pretty. Very pretty. I mean, let's just face it. No makeup on, looks great out there. She's not a dog.
No.
But
what we didn't see was when they were mentioning all that to Morgan, she said, but LG and Jeremiah get my water. So
yeah,
I'm not moving.
Yeah, I don't have to get up. I got these guys.
And Jeremiah says, oh, okay, I'll go get it.
Yeah. Jeremiah's like, when I give you the water, I'm just not going to say anything else.
Yes, move on.
Just imagine all.
You are tired.
Moving on. She hates me because I'm cuter than her, and I always have been. What?
Is this the friend of Colton's?
She hates me because I'm cuter than her. I've always been cuter than her.
I will give Morgan credit. She does look like she's just walked out there. She does not look like she's been out there for 19 days.
That girl doesn't. Okay, this is what I'm. This happens a lot on Survivor. About this time of the game, some of the girls just still look amazing, and then whenever we see them on the reunion show, it's like, take your makeup off, because they look so good without their makeup on. Just saying.
Okay.
What? Why do you just look at me and smile like that?
I agree. They're very attractive. I'm a non-makeup person. The less makeup my wife wears, the happier I am, and she knows that. Yeah. So I'm a natural beauty type person.
I made that suggestion to my wife the other day. I said, why don't you just stop wearing makeup? She said, I'm not going to look like those girls on Survivor. I said, okay, fine, put your makeup back on.
Connie, I didn't say that. He did. Just
Connie doesn't listen. Connie doesn't listen to the podcast. Okay. Now, she may be in the other room sleeping, and she may have heard it. But all right, so she needs to go. Who is she? Who needs to go?
Kass needs to go.
That's right. All right, you ready for a reward challenge?
Great reward challenge.
Oh, man.
Loved it.
Wonderful challenge for a wonderful reward.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, David, it's the best reward this season so far.
It's not the first, but it's one of the first big rewards, yes. It's not fishing gear. It's not tarp. It's Outback Steakhouse.
Never in the history of Survivor have we had such an amazing reward this season.
Come on. I'm surprised we didn't get a first time. For the first time ever.
For the first time ever on Survivor, Outback Steakhouse.
Now, this is, here we go to point number 65 of why the merge is so great.
Yes.
Because we get teams at these reward challenges.
I know.
And these teams can form things and can change the game.
Yep.
So can we go right to the teams, or are you going to talk about the challenge?
Orange team. Morgan, Jefra, Jeremiah, LJ, and Spencer.
What do you think of that team? All beauties in one brain.
Yeah. Nice. Purple team. Kass, Tasha, Trish, Tony, and woo.
So that's all a supposed alliance plus Tasha.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was really interesting. This was an opportunity, no matter who won, this was an opportunity to make changes in the game, to make moves, especially with all the beauty come back together. To me, the fact that nothing happened from that reward tells me that the beauty was ready to separate. They were ready to be apart, and there's a lack of trust there. Unless they talked, maybe we'll find out after the season if they talked. But we never got any indication that they're. And usually we do on reward challenges. We get somebody pulled aside or something like that, unless they rushed them through it. But we didn't get anything like that.
I bet they were didn't have time to put that in the edit because there was so much about the idol hunt.
And we've seen it in past seasons. We've been told that they rushed through some reward challenges just to get them back. They put them on a boat, they eat, take them off the boat, they put them back on the beach.
You mean rewards, not the challenge? But...
All right, reward challenges, yes. Now,
no rewards, not reward challenges.
Correct. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
My tiredness is catching up too. Right before he said go, I paused it to write down the teams and see who was on each side, and I stopped and asked Gracie, who's going to do the puzzle for the purple team? The orange team. Sorry, who's doing the puzzle for the orange team? And she goes, no, Spencer. No, LJ's over there. Gracie goes, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I said, I don't know, but Spencer and LJ are on the other team.
Yeah.
I said, this is going to go back and forth. This is going to be really good.
Yeah. My problem with the challenge was that the first part of the challenge was really a moot point. It was like unnecessary.
It reminded me of the climb over the wall as a team. Remember that we saw that in Philippines, and I think we've seen it since then. But everybody climbs the wall, and then you got to help each other over, and then you go. It was almost I wonder if it just didn't turn out the way they thought it would, as good as they thought it would.
Yeah.
Because it was just kind of okay. They went through the net. They teeter. It's a teeter totter. We're through it, Jeff. We're on the next part.
Yeah.
We're ready to move on.
It's the teeter. Oh, now we're on the obstacle. I almost wish they would have had one person go at a time.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Because then if they fall off, they got to go back, and that might have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the first part to me was just kind of wasted.
Yeah.
And the second part I thought was pretty cool. That was a pretty steep climb. So. Wasn't that the second part?
No, they had the bounce beam in the water.
Okay.
Pretty steep climb. What am I missing?
Well, the teeter-totter was not what I considered the first part. I considered the first part the teeter-totter and the balance.
Oh, okay. Well, the second part of the first part mattered because Wu and his super shoes fell off.
But it didn't really. That's why if they had gone one at a time, that would have had more of an effect. But it didn't.
Yeah, but yeah, that they actually went too fast over that. It's almost like the first part didn't really matter.
That's amazing that you thought that.
I put your whole phrase into didn't really matter.
Wow. You mean my phrase of it didn't really matter? You made it into a phrase.
I like nearly had no effect on the outcome.
There you go. There you go. So second part, they had to climb up the thing and get.
No, they had to untie the knots and drag the chest to the wall.
Right, which all that's the second part, and drag the wall up. I mean, drag the big chest up the wall. I love LJ just runs up there with no rope at all.
Okay, you know what? I like this challenge until you just went through it, and now I didn't like the first parts as much as the end. You're right.
No, it
just wasn't much to it. It's kind of blah blah, untie, move, go.
Yeah, it's just kind of like get up to the. Let's just go to this puzzle. Is basically what
it was practically even until the wall. I did like the wall because you got to see who were the athletes. You know,
right.
Wu went up there fast. Morgan took a little while. Tasha blew up it. Trish went up pretty quick. Like you said, LJ climbed the sticks. Didn't even use the rope. Jefra tried to, went slow.
Yeah.
And then Kass and Tony blew up there, and they were up there first.
LJ eventually used the rope, but at first he did. So. Oh, I wish they had to get all the pieces out of the chest, not just the last one.
Okay.
I just kind of wish that they had to get the chest, get all the pieces out, and then do the puzzle. But, oh well, it doesn't matter. They still had to get in the chest. But once they got in the chest, it was over. So, anyway, Orange wins reward. Nothing really special about it. Orange just wins.
I thought Purple won.
They did?
Wasn't Orange Tony and Wu? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whoever. LJ's
Orange
team
won because Spencer went on the reward with Morgan, Jefra, Jeremiah, and LJ.
Okay. It was just Orange and Purple for the challenge. I mean, it wasn't who they were.
Well, whatever. So Morgan, Jefra, Jeremiah, LJ, and Spencer won the reward. And they get to go on the reward.
Yep.
Which is good. But we don't go to the reward right away. We go back to camp.
Mm-hmm.
Kass, go ahead.
Kass, Tony, and Trish. And Tony says right away he's upset he didn't win, but it's better to be upset about something than to have something worse done to you, which you got a blur for. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, and I couldn't really quite figure out what the word was.
I want to say pooped on or something. I don't know. He can tell us later. But I like the little conversation around the area they were working, the food they were working on, when they were talking about, okay, well let's get right to it as to who we think should go. Right. And I like what Tony said. Well, Kass, these people. What do you think? Who's most influential? And Kass is like, talking about Spencer and talking about this, about what do y'all want. And I love what Trish says. I think we should let you decide, since you're the one that's most likely to flip. I love her smile. Trish just says, I think we should just let you decide. We're okay with that.
All right, so this is where we find out that Kass says it wasn't a flip, it was a move.
Well, I think she said didn't feel like a flip, and Tony said it was a move. He kind of helped her, but they agreed that it wasn't really a flip so much as it was a move because, like Tony said, it wasn't a numbers move. It was a comfort move. Who do you want to keep playing with?
Right. So the main part of this is Kass is saying, look, I don't want to make the decision, which you've already talked about. And then, Tony talks about Kass being hard to read.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tony goes to Wu and says, we need to go find the idol.
Exactly.
I'm kind of surprised he went to Wu to say that. Why not just go out and look for the idol?
I think it's really neat because we're at a merged tribe, but we're still with two tribes. Obviously different alliances.
Right.
And I think Tony wants to play as a team a little bit more than by himself. Maybe playing by himself right now will get him targeted by people like LJ. So why not bring somebody with you so it doesn't look like you're doing everything by yourself?
Right. Part of me was thinking they were going to find the idol before the reward people came back with the clue.
I did too. I thought the same thing.
Which would have been pretty cool.
But we did get a first for the season. and Tony stepped on a branch that was off the ground, so somebody climbed a tree for the first time this season. I got a point.
No, you do not. He did not climb a tree.
He did. It was part of a tree off the ground. He climbed it. He stepped on it and stepped over it.
No, that's not climbing.
Shayna will be the judge of that.
No, yeah. All right, at the reward. Boy, that food looked good.
No rules, just right.
That first bite of salad. Oh, yum. Anyway, looking at Spencer, okay, right before he finds the clue, that guy looks miserable. You know how you feel when you've eaten way too much and you're just kind of sitting at the table going, oh my gosh. That's exactly how he looked. Even when he found the clue, he still was like, oh.
And if he's kind of a tidy, neat freak, he looks at his hands and realizes, I just ate with these hands. That might just come back up. Let me get this napkin.
Yeah. So he gets the clue. Good for him. And that's basically all we got from the reward challenge, except a look at some really good food.
Absolutely. Good commercial for Outback.
Yeah. Back at camp, in the rain. It's raining again.
Mm-hmm. It's downpour.
Yep. And so Spencer takes a cameraman and goes and reads the clue.
Yep. As it slows down and starts. And this is where it gets epic. I love this next segment. This was so good.
Did you hear the clue?
Kind of, yes.
Do you remember what it said?
It talks about the path less traveled. It talked about water, I think, coming in during the day or something, water moving. Yes. But the most important part was you won't be digging. Look amongst the roots and the branches and things. So to me, it's a in front of you search. Right. It's not a down. It's an in front, which to me they messed up later on by trying to pull apart that wall of dirt. It's not a digging reward. You just look in and find it.
Well, I think he said it's buried but not under the ground.
Right.
Know?
Okay.
So you don't have to dig in the ground to get it. But my question is, do you remember, did the clue specifically say it was for the special idol?
No. The only thing that said that was the merge clue, the thing that came from the merge clue. I think you're right. I don't think this clue that Spencer got said anything about a special idol. It just said the idol. Because I've been waiting for these instructions like you are. I'm waiting to hear exactly what this.
Well, that's not even what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking about is why, and I'm kind of jumping ahead, but let's go ahead and talk about this. While he was looking for the idol, the actual idol, the camera kept focusing on an idol that was in a bunch of brush, right? In fact, it was in between Wu and Spencer.
See, I'm going to have to go back because I thought it was showing Wu on the other side of the brush.
Okay. Before Wu ever went out there, now keep in mind, people, David and I watched this right before we did this. We did not rewind and double check and all this, so we're kind of speculating. But I remember thinking before Wu ever went out there, while Spencer was looking for stuff, that then the camera zoomed in on the idol. I could see it hanging in this leaves and sticks and stuff at eye level. Okay, I could see it, and then later on, it showed Wu on the other side of that, and they came together and talked. Because I was thinking, wow, Spencer's getting close to the idol, and then they showed Wu.
I'm going to completely agree with you because I remember looking at that brush the first time thinking, where is Wu? There's like some odd colors in that brush. Yes. Where is Wu? And I thought it drew my attention because it was something different that wasn't supposed to be there, but I didn't look hard enough to see if it was an idol. So that's a good catch, and I'm going to go back after we finish and go see if I can see it.
So here's what that's not where Spencer found the idol.
Not at all.
He found it digging in dirt.
Did he find it digging in dirt, or was it was kind of at the top, eye level, like you said? It was kind of at the top of that crevice of dirt and brush and roots in there. So he said, as I'm standing there, Kass is beside me, right in front of me is the idol.
I know, but
I don't think he dug it up. I think it was sitting up there at eyesight level.
Okay, maybe someone on YouTube can help us out. But it looked to me like he found a different idol than the one that the cameraman showed us earlier in the show.
Well, I definitely agree that I saw something in that brush too that didn't look like it belonged in that brush.
So I think the cameraman showed us that idol, and he found a normal idol.
Yes, because it was like a small zoom, I think, from the camera too that was like, hey, it's over here. He's looking over there, but it's over here. I remember that. There was like a little zoom in the camera too.
And then whenever he found it, he's like on that wall of dirt. He's not over by where they showed it before. Now, please, if y'all saw this and we are totally off, please help us out here, okay? But I really think that he found a different idol. Okay, so now we get to see Spencer run off to go find the idol. Wu knows there's a clue there because he is a Survivor fan.
Yes.
Which is one of the things we love about this season.
Absolutely.
Is there are a lot of Survivor fans. And so he goes into ninja stealth mode.
Hashtag.
Will the Giant Ninja. All right. This will be Will the Giant Ninja's favorite episode.
Yes.
Because of ninja stealth mode. And then I wrote, cameraman zooms in on idol.
Will's gonna write his feedback blank this time because it's gonna be in ninja stealth mode.
And then I wrote, the idol was between them. How funny is that? You know? And then I wrote, whoa, Nelly, he took the idol clue.
After he threw the pants at him. You left your pants over here, man.
There's something about the fact when you take it and run, you know, that's usually a sign of guilt. When a policeman comes up to you, Mr. Criminal Justice Guy, when a policeman comes up to you and goes, hey, I want to talk to you, and you run, that usually means guilt.
There's a movie from way back in the 80s called Live and Die in L.A. It's got William Peterson in it, and his partner is chasing this guy because he's a suspect in something, and they're both tired, and they're both running, and the cop says, stop running. He goes, why are you chasing me? He goes, why are you running? If you're not guilty, stop running.
Exactly. So the fact that Wu ran in his Sonic Hedgehog way.
Exactly. Lots of shout outs there.
Boy, Spencer is so frustrated. He is beyond frustrated. He is a fan who is frustrated at himself for doing something so foolish.
Right.
And for losing a wonderful opportunity. That is why as this part of the show goes on, we see Spencer getting more and more frustrated. He's not mad at everybody else. I think he's mad at himself, and he's mad at the situation. I can't believe I had an idol clue, and I actually let this slip out of my hands like this.
I can see Spencer turning to the camera and saying, can he do that? That was in my property, my possession. Can he take that clue?
Well, I kind of think he should have done that.
Maybe he did.
Well, all right, so Wu goes back and tells everybody.
Everybody.
Hey, Spencer had a clue.
Did you notice how the tribes were sitting? They were divided.
Oh, yeah.
In their alliances, and Kass was sitting with Morgan and Tosh and Jeremiah.
Yeah. Yep. And then we get the whole Kass, it's karma for what you did last night.
Well, once everybody comes out, looking for it.
We assume this is about him, being mad at her and saying stuff to her. But we don't know. Maybe while they were, cuddling in the tent, maybe I don't know. We don't know exactly what it's karma for.
Yeah. I was listening for the it's got to be, to us, it's got to be the argument from the night before.
Obviously, I'm joking. Like,
what are you joking about? Something we've already talked about.
What if he's like in desperation mode? He's been out there for 21 days. He's laying beside Kass, and he's dreaming about Morgan, and he puts his hand on Kass's side, and Kass slaps him. And so karma, the next day.
Okay, let me give you a more realistic situation that could happen. Spencer has been struggling on Luzon all these days. He finally survives and gets to emerge. He's finally in an alliance. He's in a position of power. The game is back under his control, and in one tribal council, someone he thought he could trust flips on him. The game is gone. It's over for him. That's enough, I think, to push somebody over the edge. But it's when he gets this clue and realizes he's in trouble that he's got to apologize for it. That's, to me, is more realistic than your crazy theory of why he's upset.
Y'all, I was just trying to have some fun. David wants to be all serious, so I guess we'll be back to serious.
That's because it's 11:15.
Oh, chill
Let's talk
out.
about Survivor.
We are talking about Survivor. I was having some fun. And you're just no fun.
Because I was waiting for Tony's spy music to come on. Dun, 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 dun. When he finally says, we're going to go find it. And I really thought he and LJ were going to find it when they took off.
Yeah, Spencer finds it. It's a normal idol,
You're right.
which is kind of, I'm surprised it was a normal
But
idol.
we get that closed caption, so he's want to make it clear
Yeah.
it is a normal. And he was reading the rules about you play it after the votes are cast, but before they're read. And I'm
Right.
like,
And it
what?
says, this is a normal idol.
So you think he found the wrong idol? That
Well,
would definitely be a
I
first.
wrote this. Notice it wasn't in the same spot the cameraman showed earlier. That's all I'm saying.
I wonder. Well, I
I
think
think he just happened upon an idol they hadn't given a clue for yet. But I could be wrong.
But then again, the
Anybody think so?
clue didn't say anything about the special powers. It just talked
I know.
about where the idol was.
See, I don't remember. I don't remember if it did or not.
It was a very four-line clue to where it was. It didn't. I don't remember saying anything about the idol.
Okay, so regardless of what the clue said,
Hmm.
I could still see CBS allowing us to see the zoom in on the special idol in the brush and him finding a different idol. Just for those of us who have the keen eye to notice that he found the idol that was different than the one they showed us. So we're thinking to ourselves, aha, self, I know where the special idol is.
Maybe Spencer should turn around and look at the camera and say, "Why are you focusing that way?
Yes.
Who or what is over there? I'm over here."
Spencer turns around. Hey, I'm going this way. Oh, sorry, I was zooming in over there. I'll be right there.
On that shiny thing in the brushes.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the immunity challenge. Unless there's more you want to talk about the mad treasure hunt.
No, I thought it was good. Really, really good.
Hey, did anybody say mad treasure hunt?
Yes, Tony did.
Tony did.
He said this is now. He also said that sometimes you can't tell if Morgan is a pillow or a person. I thought that was hilarious. That
Those are
sums up Morgan.
pillows
It's Morgan.
from
But even
Planes,
Morgan
Trains, and
came up
Automobiles.
with the idol.
By the way, I thought of a great idea for our next Shooting the Breeze podcast episode.
What's that?
Movies everyone ought to see.
Okay.
Right? We're just like, look, listen to this podcast. We're going to tell you the movies that if you haven't seen them, get your butt out to the store and get them and watch them.
I thought we were going to do a TV podcast like we did the movies podcast.
Well, maybe we'll do that too. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
All right, immunity challenge. Let's balance on your toes while holding a block with your head. I wrote, this won't last long, and I was right for half of them.
Yes.
This is an endurance challenge if I have ever seen one. I honestly thought Trish was going to do really well on this.
I did too, because she was my pick to win. So it's kind of balance on the balls of your feet and keep your heels off the board. I love, though, that it was a small board. There wasn't any chance of anybody putting more than the balls of their feet on there. And it was really an endurance thing. And, man,
Yeah.
Tasha proved how much of an athlete she is.
Yeah,
She's like several people we've seen in the past that just didn't move.
that's right. Kass last, she's a lawyer. She
All right,
never
the challenge is now – okay, Kass is out.
Yeah. They probably had to go back and edit in Pope saying, okay, now let's begin, because she fell off,
Put a little glue up there, give her a few seconds. Okay,
Yeah.
she's out.
Poor Kass. As a lawyer, you never have to balance yourself on the balls of your feet. You just, you stand. Although she's a woman, she wears heels.
You'd think.
Whatever. Jeremiah and Trish are out awfully quick as well. And Tony, what's up with that, Mr. Policeman, Mr. Buff, Team TV? What are you doing getting off of the thing so quickly?
It was because his head was round. He didn't have any hair to support it.
That's right, lack of friction.
There you go.
See, the reason why Spencer won is because see how my hair is all fluffy up here, kind of like Spencer's is at the end of the day? It provided added support for the block of wood.
You would probably do better than me at this challenge, yes.
Yes, and whereas Tony, the wood was constantly sliding on the skin.
Like it would for Steve. If Steve Helling got in this, he would be out in a matter of
Yeah,
seconds.
you and Steve Helling would not last 5 seconds in this podcast. Steve Helling, the writer for People magazine, who was on our last roundtable show, which you haven't heard, you should. So then next thing you know, it's 25 minutes. I was very surprised.
I was too.
Yeah, and Morgan is out. You know what? Morgan looked good, though, even when she went out.
Are these your farewell to Morgan's? Farewells to her.
I'm just saying, Morgan, you might have failed standing on the balls of your feet, but you looked great falling off.
And then Wu fell off.
All right. All right, here we go. Let's see. And then Wu fell off. Now that surprised me. I thought Wu, I mean, he looked very focused, and next thing you know, he's off.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 left. 1 hour. Dude, that's a long time to stand on your balls of your feet.
You're not kidding. I'm cramping up just thinking about it. I'm just moving on from what you said. I'm not going back to it.
I did not mean for it to come out that way.
Thinking Charlie horses, I'm thinking everything else.
Oh, yeah, cramp big time,
Yeah.
Oh, man, Jefra out, and this is where you can see it. She could barely move.
Yeah, exactly. I like what Probst said when he talked about Morgan getting off and being in pain. Now you know what the rest of these 4 are still going through. They are earning this challenge.
Yeah. Jefra, even though you could not balance on the balls of your feet for longer than an hour, you too looked very good when you fell off. Jeffra's very pretty as well.
Okay.
I guess to be fair, I should have said that about Kass and Trish, but nah. All right.
You are so tired.
I am very tired. Just when you thought it was safe. All right. Then LJ's out, and then it just leaves Tasha and Spencer.
I love how this challenge only took a fraction of movement, it seemed like. I mean, there were people that recovered, but in the end, it was just, I just need to move this foot just a little, or I need to just turn my head just a little. And that's all it took. This wasn't one that you could recover from easily.
Yeah. By the way, Reese, I know you're on YouTube watching and you're posting on that. Rewind a little bit to before Wu gets in the picture, before Wu is actually looking for the idol. That's when I think I saw the cameraman zoom in on that brush.
It was right when Wu got to the brush to look for Spencer, yeah.
No, I think it was before that.
Oh, okay.
That's when I think it was after Spencer folded his clothes and set it down and started looking. I think the cameraman zoomed in on that brush, and I thought I saw one of those brown little bags hanging in the brush. So Reese, go back and watch that since you're rewatching it.
Okay, before we go too much further, I have a point of clarification by our friend Tony. His quote was, and I'll use our language, it's better to be urinated off than to be urinated on.
Oh, see, that's what I was thinking.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I was thinking, wait, it sounds like that should be the same word. Why did they not bleep the second one? I mean, why did they bleep the second one but not the first one?
Because they wanted to make it look more edgy than the first one.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Because that's what I was thinking. Well, he probably said the same word, but why would they, bleep it? Thank you, Team TV, for clarifying that. By the way, I cannot wait till after the season, y'all. Tony's going to come on our show, and I know he will have been on other shows before our show because he has to out of obligation to CBS, but when he comes on our show, you're going to hear things he did not tell those shows because
we hope.
Because we're counting on that.
Exclusivity.
Yes, exclusivity.
And I think next week is going to be a lot of information that we get to talk about.
Yes.
Tony.
All right, so now we're at 90 minutes. Tasha and Spencer. Okay, this is what I'm typing. Tasha doesn't look like, and she falls off. And then I was going to write, this is bothering her at all. Because she looked like, hey, this is not a problem at all, no big deal. Boom. She falls off.
Yep.
What's up with that?
As soon as it was those two, I know she went from solid as a rock to just off. I think it was a cramp thing. It was a muscle thing. She just couldn't stay up any longer. But it looked like she just kind of looked, oh, my body just failed me. But I'm thinking Spencer's going to win because we're not going to see the idol. We're not going to see anything close to the idol come out. Yeah. So once it got down to those two, it was like, okay, here we go. No more idol.
Yeah. Tasha went, Tasha was 90 minutes strong, and then boom, she just lost control.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. Spencer, on the other hand, stayed on, did great.
Fought through it.
Spencer wins. I love what he says. Did you write it down, David?
I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yes, been waiting for this for a long time.
Yep.
Because he's a fan.
There we go. Lots of fans on this season.
Hey, babe, how you doing? My wife just came in the podcasting closet. She goes, no, it's not a podcasting closet.
It's It's a room with a bunch of stuff. I like how we're getting a lot, especially this episode. We're getting a lot of indication that they're fans here. They know what to expect and they know what's going on.
I know.
I mean, Wu asked a while back, do you think they're getting a clue? You always get a recruit reward challenges. I love
it. Yep, I do too. All right, so now we're back at camp.
Day 22.
Making plan A.
And I wrote down, since she's not part of it, it's top 5 plus Kass.
Yes. And
that's
notice,
what I call that alliance.
Okay, Tony. Why are you being such an active part of this? Why not let other people make the decisions that you want made? Make them decide on Morgan. Get them to say Morgan. He says Morgan and he says Tosh. I mean, he does both. But
he also approaches it in a way that he says, I think this is why these two should go. Because he doesn't say it has to be this person, has to be that person. But you know what? If nobody else is speaking, somebody's got to speak.
I know, but I mean,
if nobody, I agree, and I'm taking the opposite side. I understand what you're saying. Don't be so forceful. Let other people come up with it.
Yes.
But who's going to come up with it? Trish is leaning on Kass. Jefra's smiling, and LJ is probably just sitting back and letting other people make decisions.
Well, part of the reason why no one's going to come up with it is because why did you pick Morgan? All the reasons you mentioned are all the reasons to keep her there.
True.
She's not going to win. So why are you getting rid of Morgan, Tony?
I think Tony was getting rid of Morgan because he thought that would be the one that Kass would vote against. I think he was looking at Kass like Trish was looking at Kass earlier and saying, who do you want to get rid of? So if I know that somebody's getting on your nerves, whether I'd want to take them to the end or not, and I didn't trust whether you'd stay with us or not, I would probably offer up that person just to kind of appease you. So maybe he was trying to appease Kass. Put up the obvious person that she's having struggles with.
Okay.
I mean, that's what he did last week when they went for Sarah. It was, that was something Kass would consider. If you put up Tasha, Kass might not consider that. Why not put up the person Kass would consider?
Okay. Now I'm going to give you my answer to my question. You gave me your answer to my question.
Okay.
I'm going to give you my answer to my question. Because they're not going to waste their idol on her, which is what he said. I think.
Exactly.
Look, if he has the idol, he ain't going to play it on her. If he has, he ain't gonna, this is a safe vote, right?
Right. She's the least likely to have found it, and she's the least likely they're going to waste it on.
Right. So, all right. So that's plan A, Morgan. Plan B is Tasha.
And why is it Tasha plan A?
I don't know. You tell me.
Because Tony says she's one of the hardest working people out there, and she deserves to play longer. She deserves to last longer.
What's with this? Survivor isn't about deserving to play longer.
It's almost like you don't need to be nice about Tasha to other people. You need to be nice about Tasha to Tasha.
Yeah.
Don't waste it on. And Tony says, but once we're done, I'm going to tell Tasha everything I just said about her.
Yeah.
Because I think she's a nice person. I want that jury vote.
All right. Again, I wrote, notice Tony's making all the decisions, which I don't think is very smart because it puts him in a position where everybody's going to be looking at him going, Tony's the one making all the decisions. Maybe we need to get rid of him.
That could be the edit that we're seeing to build up something to come in the very near future.
Yes. Spencer. So now we go to the other group.
Which is top 6 minus Kass.
That's right. Maybe we go for Tony and hope Kass does something crazy at Tribal.
Right.
That sounds logical. Did they have any other choice? Did they have any other avenue that you think that they should have done?
Well, they even called, I think they called Tony the first choice, but they never actually gave us a second choice. And it's funny that Spencer's talking rather comfortably about Tony because, of course, he has the idol. And he knows Tony doesn't have the idol that he has. So, like we said, we don't know if there's 1 or 2 left. But, he's pretty confident. And I wonder if I don't think he showed it to anybody, although it's not the super idol, which we talked about wearing or not wearing. But I thought he was going to show it to Kass for a minute, and then I thought he was wise not to because you can't show it to somebody you can't trust.
Right. Well, so he approaches Kass, which I was glad. I was glad they weren't just going to go, well, maybe she does something crazy, and then we just go to Tribal. I was glad that he actually went
you have to
her.
Right. And he made really good arguments. You don't want to. She agreed. She pretty much said his case that you don't want to take Tony. He's too persuasive. He's very likable, which is kind of neat to see that. When we thought he could be the bad guy, he's likable by his tribe mates. So you don't want to take somebody like that to the end. It's a good vote.
Right. And then we get a little taste of what Steve Helling told us that Sarah said in the interview was that they had made a pact among those 6 who, if anybody flips, none of us will vote for you.
Right.
So then we were wondering, well, why would Kass flip then if she knows that's going to happen? Because, as Kass said, I knew they'd change their mind, and that's exactly what happened. He's like, I don't. If you come back to us, you wouldn't lose our jury votes. And Kass is like, I knew they were going to do that.
Yeah, and she even said that the first night at the beginning of the episode where, I made 5 people mad at me. They're going to forgive me. They're going to want me at some point. So yeah, you're right. That was a theme that carried out that she knew they were going to come back to her. They weren't going to hold on to that. Now she probably won't get Sarah's vote, but she might get a few other votes.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to get Sarah's vote.
No.
Well, there's a way that she could, though, because there's a lot of talk that goes on at Ponderosa. And if Kass were to, get in all good with all those, with the Spencers and Natashas, and then they end up going to Ponderosa, and they talk to Sarah and go, yeah, we know that, but we told her, you never know.
Never know.
There's a lot of time left. Almost 3 weeks.
Yep.
All right. Would you seriously consider it? David, would you consider it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but would you seriously consider it?
Oh, I'm seriously considering it right now. What a great approach. Not being bully, not being, forceful. Would you just consider it? And that's all you need for Kass. And I think Kass is one of the first people who really does go into tribal council with an open mind. I mean, I think there are arguments on both sides, and I really think she makes her decisions at tribal council. She's playing by her gut. She admit that, and that's where you make a gut decision at tribal council.
Well, I mean, obviously she's not going to flip, because then they go to rocks, and she could go home.
See, that's why I wasn't buying it. But at least the conversations were Survivor smart. They weren't trying to be pushy. Would you at least consider it? And then I could see Kass saying, yeah, I'll seriously consider it because I don't want to go to rocks. So I didn't say I'm going to do it, but I will consider it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they didn't show it, a common theme in our podcast. Maybe they didn't show it, but, right? You would hope Spencer would say, come over with us. Who can you bring with you?
Right.
Can you bring Trish with you? Can you bring, you would hope that conversation was had. Because otherwise, you're not going to convince her to tie the game.
No, and put herself
in Cochran.
No. And I think he probably knew that. As long as he's got the idol, he can do what he got to do.
They all know that Kass is willing to play the game. I know that because Kass told me. She told all of us.
Yep.
And she likes trial by ambush. I got a little nervous here. I love the ambush, and I love a blindside. Red flag went up. Is she going to be blindsided? Maybe not this episode, but maybe in the future.
There you go. I don't know. I was pretty confident that she wouldn't be because I think at this point the top 5 alliance needs her, and they need to appease her, and I still think that's why they offered up Morgan. But no, this was probably the first tribal council that I was 95% confident that somebody was going. The person I knew was going home.
Yeah.
Not the person I put my points on, but the person I knew was going home.
Right. So Kass at tribal council. Let's go ahead and go tribal council.
Please.
She's like the wind in my sails. What is the next line in that song? She's like the wind.
I don't know. It's Patrick Swayze sang it.
Yeah.
In my dreams.
She is the wind. I don't know, Kass. I saw that movie, and no.
Nobody puts Kass in a corner.
I could just see Kass getting lifted up in a dance move by Patrick Swayze.
Hey, you might be telling somebody what poster to use for their next movie.
Yeah.
Or for the next picture.
So Spencer admits he got riled up and got out of hand. Did Tony say, who's going to frack our alliance? Did he say that? Did he pull a Battlestar Galactica word out of his hat?
I'm not sure. Maybe he'll tell us before we finish.
Somebody on a YouTube comments, there's a lot of you out there watching right now, live on YouTube or on our website. Did Tony say, who's going to frack our alliance? Frack is a word used in Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, I thought he did. So you want to talk about Morgan?
Yeah, because
Morgan said,
this is what got me thinking Kass is just sitting in the middle going, okay, I hear that side. I'm with you, though. I don't think she was ever going to make
Well,
the move
no.
back because it was
No.
going to put him in a bad situation. But I'm thinking, keep talking, Morgan, because you're just giving Kass more reason just to confirm that vote that she
Yeah.
wants to send you out.
Yeah. I'm
And
not a threat.
I've
Go
never
ahead. I'm
heard
sorry.
the term, comfort over numbers, but it's been making sense the last couple of weeks. I mean, I understand the term. I don't think I've ever heard it before in Survivor. So it's kind of neat that we're getting that term as, we're still in a sizable game that we can live by comfort and not worry about numbers. It just so happens that you have numbers,
Right.
and now you definitely have numbers. But I understand that we're doing it for Kass. I can hear that from Tony. We're doing it for you.
Yeah.
You want her gone, she's gone.
Before we get to the chain alliance,
hmm
Morgan says, I'm not a threat. People don't like me. Trish, is that true? Well, yeah, she could also add.
Let me give you 5 things, and then there's about 10 more I could give you if you
She
want.
doesn't add any help at camp, and you want me to go on? I could go on.
I could go on.
Yes.
Thank you, Trish. That'll
Tell you
do that.
more about Morgan. I don't think I've ever heard that. That was pretty funny to watch.
That
And
was good.
Morgan's just sitting there going, I don't care what you think, I'm beautiful.
And that's all there is to it. Some girls would choose cute over beauty.
That's right. Even if you vote me off, I'm going to Ponderosa, and every man there will serve me.
Sarah's there.
There are other men there. There's the chef.
Not if Jonah's still there. He kicked him out.
No, I'm saying the chef is there. Well,
Okay.
yeah, but I mean, there are men there. And
Yes.
he's used to being waited on hand and foot.
Well, there could be a female chef. Never know.
Well, anyway. So I love it. I'm used to things being good for me. Why? Look at me, Jeff.
She just smiles. And
Yes.
LJ's going, Jeff, don't look in her eyes. Don't look in her eyes.
And Jeff's trying to keep from going, okay, I admit it. I admit
because of your eyes, I admit.
it. You are amazing. I admit it.
How can you people consider voting for her?
Please don't vote her off. Actually, vote her off. I want to go visit her in Ponderosa.
I'm going to give a detailed interview.
Yes. For the first time ever in Survivor, Jeff visits Ponderosa on a nightly basis. He eats with the crew. He eats with the jury members. He plays darts in PS3. And then we can't find him for a couple of hours.
Anyway. Moving on. You are dragging this out. Moving on.
Hey, I'm having fun. Isn't that
know.
what we're supposed to be doing?
Sure.
Just two best friends having fun, talking about the show we love? Right?
Let's get back to the real show.
Dude, stop. I'm serious. We're having fun. Or at least I was. Maybe you're not. All right. So let's go on. Let's see. People always choose cute. And then we get Jefra describing the alliance as a chain. Go for it, David. It's all yours.
Sounded like the generic description of a group that knows who's at the top, knows who's at the bottom, but we're just going to say the generic words to make everybody feel part of the group. Everybody's equal. That's
Okay.
it. I didn't write down a whole lot of notes about this tribal council, other than Morgan making a case to send her home and Jefra trying to describe the 6-person alliance, which this is the first time we've heard that Kass is part of an alliance, according to Kass, because she's never felt like part of the alliance.
Yeah. Hey, if I'm sitting next to you in Vegas, I don't mind beating you.
You better, because that's part of the game.
Exactly.
Only one winner.
So let's get to the vote, David.
Mhm.
So you can go to bed, since you apparently want to get this show over with. All right. I wrote, I'm not going to look to see how much time is left, just in case Kass did something crazy.
That's funny, because I did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, the vote comes in. Morgan's out. Kass stayed with the others. Going
Yeah.
back to the Lost theme. Stayed with the others.
The top 5 plus Kass.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, I mean that was the only part of the episode I kind of knew it was going to happen. Everything else in the episode was really good, really unique, different, and good. And I love the possibility of another idol out there.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting.
By the way, the points have bound to have turned in my favor in our Survivor.
I think you had a
Fantasy
big point
league.
night. I think you had a big point night.
Because both of your players don't have idols anymore. One of mine got one.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of blurs tonight. I'm thinking
I think you doubled up on me tonight, at least doubled up.
I might have. So next
Feels
time
good,
on
doesn't it?
Survivor. By the way, so Morgan the right one to get out, or could they have used this opportunity to vote somebody else off?
I think you could look at it both ways, but I think that Tasha was somebody he would have played an idol for if he got any wind that she was going to be gone. But I think at this point Spencer's confident that he don't need to play an idol, that she was kind of fodder to go home. I think it's a smart move. I mean, why not? Why not go for camaraderie? More comfort. But either way, it could have been Morgan, could have been Jeremiah.
Yeah. You got a little shot of Spencer kind of trying to act like he could play the idol for somebody else, like he could take his, not the idol, but his necklace. You got a little hint of him kind of trying to hint that he could play it for somebody else, because Jeff said, you feel safe, and he's like, well, maybe.
He made a really good point. You sometimes got to make a big move to win the game versus just making a move to stay in the game.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true when it comes down to it. And some people talk about making that move early. Some people talk about making it late, playing it safe for a while. I'm more of the conservative, playing it safe until I have to make a big move.
Right.
Spencer didn't have to make a big move at this point.
All right, so let's get back to our idol discussion. Mike wrote this, putting it up on the screen. I agree with Janice. Just rewatched, and the camera zooms in twice on Wu, hiding in the bushes watching Spencer. The brown thing you saw is just part of the bush Wu was hiding behind.
Okay.
And then Reese, who I asked to do this, said, they never show the spot in the brush without Wu in the shot, so you can't be sure that it's an idol hanging there.
See, I think it was Wu. I don't think they'd show us an idol like that.
Well, I thought maybe they were doing it just if some people caught that there was another idol and they just didn't show it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, what a twist to have us thinking there's going to be a all-powerful idol and it doesn't turn out to be one.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they would hold that until this one gets played.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, here's another thing from Boy Wonder 3919. The single bleep in Tony's quote ties into FCC regulations. You can use certain words on air if they are not used for their literal meaning. So I'm pissed off.
Okay.
It's different than I'm pissed on. Notice I didn't use the word.
Excellent.
It gets into First Amendment issues.
I think he's right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's right. He is right, because that's a good point.
Yeah.
The reference in which it's used.
Yep. All right. I think that was good YouTube quotes there. Thank you all for doing that, for letting us know what those are. All right. So we got next time on Survivor, Paranoia, and who are we focusing on?
Mr. Tony.
Mr. Tony. It's going to be a Tony episode.
And it could be about time to start doing a little inward fighting, because what did he say? We're going to start eating each other, or whatever it was he said at the beginning of that next week on, and it's 5 and Kass and 3. Yeah. So it is a point in the game where if they needed to get rid of somebody that's causing problems or not playing along, then you make that move.
Yeah. Hey, we got another YouTube question here. It's from Janice. Let's see what you think about it. Do you see it there? Mm-hmm. Is Tony playing the coach game?
Which coach game? He's played,
game?
3 times? The coach game I liked the best was the South Pacific game, where he became like a counselor. He tried to lead without leading, which he did, and he did really well until the end, where Sophie took all the credit. But I don't think he's necessarily playing the coach game. I think Coach was being more of an advisor in South Pacific with the vote and who gets voted out and stuff, whereas Tony, I think, is being more direct.
Right.
By
the way, Tony, Kass, who else? Jefra. Are there any other current survivors that are in our Facebook group? LJ, that's right. All members of our Facebook group. And every once in a while, they chime in on stuff that is said.
Yep.
So join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Survivor Talk. So, all right, let's see. Kass is a child. That's pretty much all Morgan says. You're 40 years old. Get over it. Nothing.
And Kass says, I'm still in the game.
Yeah.
You're not.
Who cares? I'm still in the game. You're not. All right, David.
Have we ever seen anybody play this role by themselves as
I
much as
don't
Cass is
know.
doing?
I'm enjoying watching Kass. I like what she's saying. You know what? I'm just having fun out here playing, and I'm playing for myself, and she's getting away with it. Right now
What,
she is.
yeah, what we talked about on Facebook this week about watching new players. I mean, if they're the old mistakes, they're the old mistakes, but it's new people doing them and having to adapt to it. To me, it's much more fun than watching old people play a second time around. It's like watching a repeat of a movie at some point.
Right.
I'm just really enjoying this cast. Very well done.
So why didn't Spencer approach the other guys and say, "Hey, let's get rid of Kass. She's not helping y'all, and y'all still have the numbers." Because they wouldn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
I just answered my own question.
He made the one pitch to the one person he could get, but at the same time, he made no argument against a tie vote that we heard. He might have asked, "Who could you bring with you?"
Right.
So.
All right, so what do you think? We are going to do a feedback show. We will do it on Monday night. We want to know your thoughts on this episode, and the only way we will be able to do that is if you leave us feedback using our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. There are many places. Actually, no matter where you are on our website, there's that bar over on the right. Click on it. You can leave us a voice message. All right? And email us, feedback at survivortalkwithdnd.com, or send us an audio, or you can call 818-5-TALK-DD and leave us feedback. Feedback will be due when, David?
Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern.
Monday night at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So get your feedback in then, and we will do a feedback show this week. Sorry we couldn't do one last week, but we did give you an amazing roundtable discussion, I thought.
Yes, absolutely. 2 hours. It was great.
I am looking forward to having Andy and Steve on again for sure, because those guys are very knowledgeable.
Yeah, and Colton too at some time.
And they're fun to talk about. To talk. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Fun to talk. Colton is too, but Colton's a previous player. I'm talking about he's a writer for People Magazine. It's kind of cool having these guys on.
2 super fans and also very, very smart guys when it comes to Survivor.
That's right. So, and then you also want to follow us on Twitter at Survivor_talk. We have passed 850 followers.
Wow.
On our way to 1,000. When we reach 1,000, I will not shave my head. Just saying. That gives us a goal. Okay. All right.
There you go.
So, and you can follow David at David_STWDD. David does some good stuff too. And of course, we again join the Facebook group. Lots of fun on the Facebook group. Man, we had like 25 new members in the last 2 days.
The country of Romania joined our Facebook page.
Apparently so. I was approving things back and forth. I kept going to the sites, make sure they're not bots.
Right.
And they weren't bots. They were real people.
Yep.
Crazy.
They were thanking us right away, and it was awesome. We love overseas friends. Love getting point of views over there.
So anyway, join the Facebook group. Lots of fun discussion. Follow us on Twitter. Download our audio podcast on iTunes. If you have not left us a 5-star rating, and if you have not given us an actual typed-out review that says, Dwayne and David are awesome or something. I like how Dwayne gets irritated with David, but they just go on like nothing ever happened. If only married couples could act like that.
Just because we're not in the same room.
Yeah. Whatever you want to type, as long as it's nice stuff, give us a review. That's how we get moved up on the iTunes ratings. This is what we want to happen. We want people to go to iTunes and type in Survivor and then click on the podcast and our awesome yellow logo stick up. Because they're going to click on it if they see it. Right now, they have to scroll over to see it. And the only way that's going to happen is, number one, you download our show from iTunes, even if you listen to it somewhere else, download it on iTunes, and you leave us a review. We need consistent reviews or consistent ratings, right? And I know there's over 1,200 of you listen to each episode, and we only have like 90 or 80-something 5-star ratings. So just go to iTunes and help us out. And the other way you can help us out financially is to shop Amazon and to use our links on our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. How you like them apples?
Excellent job on them notes.
I know. And let's see. Oh, blogs. I really enjoyed your blog this week, David. Your Survivor by the Slice.
It's amazing. I had so much time with no feedback show to prepare for, and it still took me until, what, Tuesday when I finally
Yes.
got it out.
And also, for those of you who left us feedback last week, sorry. We warned you. I mean, there's some long feedback left. We didn't have a show.
But by popular demand, we will force a show this Monday.
That's right. So, any final words, David, before we go off the air and fight?
Another good episode. My number one power ranking is going to be up for grabs this week. Trish had a good episode, but not a power episode, in my opinion. There were some other strong players this week. Really, really, really good play this week. Up until the Tribal Council, it was a really good episode that I didn't know what was going to happen next. I love the Mad Treasure Hunt. Thought that was really. That's how it should be. You should have every person in the game looking for the idol, not two people. That's how we think it should be.
Even Morgan was looking for the idol.
The pillow was actually a person.
Yes. I mean, if she's up out of the camp, there must be something going on.
Can I do another clarification? Although I love talking about Morgan and being a pillow or a person. Tony said who's going to crack our alliance, not frack our alliance. So he was never in Battlestar Galactica. Whether he's watching or not, we don't know.
Oh, he was going to crack.
He's watching. He said it was crack the alliance. Yes.
All right. Janice says, "OMG, Dwayne, you need some sleep." Yes. She also says, "I like the Lost reference."
Hello.
Janice,
she really wants that Lost podcast, doesn't she?
Janice. If you're going to type Lost, you must use all capital letters. Next time, I will not acknowledge the comment.
I'm telling you, I love it, though, because that was my first thought. He apologized, and I said, here it comes. He's going to find the idol. The island gave him the idol. I love it.
Yeah. Man, I was going to say something else, and I don't remember what it was. Because you had to tell what Tony said.
Yeah, you were talking about Morgan and pillows and persons.
Yeah, but it wasn't about Morgan. Let's see, they were out looking for the idol. Oh, it's about time we get to see Wu doing some stuff this episode.
Good Wu episode. Good. We're finally getting to see that. We knew he was a fan, but he's actually talking like a super fan out there, like Spencer would. Reading things into things, knowing what could be happening, what should be happening, and going after. I love that he chased him down. That's what you should do.
Right. He's finally out from underneath the shadow of Cliff's right leg.
Now, and the shadow is still there from Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Did you agree with him coming back and telling the whole tribe about the clue when he could have just ran off, read it, and gone back to looking for it?
Well, this is what I got from that. He was trying to get dissension in the camp because he told Tosh and them first. He was like, "Hey, did Spencer tell you he had a clue?"
Absolutely, I completely agree.
Dissension. So heck yeah, why not?
Right.
He didn't tell him
he could have very easily gone and looked for it. I have no doubt that he could have found it. But he shows it to the guys that were hiding idols, LJ and Tony. So he's looking for somebody to help him look for it. Yeah. But at the same time, getting those guys to look for it means Spencer has less of a chance to find it. You're increasing the odds that he doesn't find it.
That's right. Let's get the whole crew out there looking for idols. Oh, man. What a great episode.
Yep.
I don't want to stop it's like I'm on adrenaline now.
I can tell.
I just want to keep talking about the show. Survivor.
Any thoughts on who's going to go? Well, we don't go that far yet. That's next week. We'll talk about that at Feedback Show.
Okay, stock up. Wu.
I'd say Wu. I'd also say Spencer. Spencer ended a little bit better, only because of the idol and because of the luck of the clue. Would Morgan have even seen the clue had she lifted the napkin or Jeremiah?
Yeah. No, yeah, because
I'm picking on him. I'm picking on him, but yeah. What an interesting concept. I mean, if LG had found it, it'd be like, oh, we know he's smart, we know he's strategic, but that's almost unfair. But nice surprise that it wasn't the super idol. It was a normal idol. He did read that clue to us. Who do you think stock went down?
Let's see. Oh man, I don't know.
And you realize some people have already turned us off because you started giving the closing credits.
Yeah, I know. See, don't turn us off whenever I start giving closing credits.
I think Tasha's stock went down because of her good performance in the challenge.
Really?
Yeah, I think she showed how, and I wrote that in my rankings last week, that once she starts proving how good she is in challenges, her target on her back is going to get bigger. She was number 2 only because I think they felt he would have used an idol on her.
Yeah.
She was the second. I mean, if she was Trisha's first choice, and Trisha's like, I want to get rid of that idol, that challenge winner. That girl's going to start winning challenges, and I agree with her. So I think Tasha's stock unfortunately went down because of how good she did.
Yep. All right. Part of our feedback show will be the Baker's 15,
20.
where Andy Baker comes on and talks about something.
Yep.
Are we closing the show? Maybe, maybe not.
Something Survivor related.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we're not. Hey, which...
this is what Dwayne's like at 3 o'clock in the morning playing cards.
If you have not heard my latest parody, it's called Chaos Kass, and I will end the show with it tonight. But it is a very good one, although my favorite is still Spy Shack.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite from this season?
I was trying to think of that. I don't know. They're all good. Spy Shack is always going to be great because it was like your first big one, and it was so catchy. It's one of those you couldn't get out of your heads. But the rest of them are really good because they're known songs, and they all fit each episode. They're all unique, so it's not like you can compare them necessarily.
Well, the Chaos Kass, which is based on Wrecking Ball, is starting to grow on me just a little bit.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't like it very much, but Kass said she liked it, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and publish it and put it out there, and it's had quite a few downloads, like 1,500 downloads. So,
what was the one for Lindsey and Trish?
That was that Get Lucky? No, that was Sarah and Kass.
Take You Down or something like that.
Yeah, that was the country western one.
I thought that was pretty funny because that was you kind of doing almost an Elvis voice. You have a good Elvis voice.
I could sing low.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun, but we do need to get off the air. So thank you for watching. Wait, here we go. One last thing before we go. Mike told us the hidden idol note said, take the road less traveled, a hike beyond your well. A course where rain once journeyed means you are close enough to tell. This idol is surely buried, but you won't be digging down. A mesh of roots and rock and dirt hides more power than a crown. It's that power word that made me think it was the special idol.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike K. from SoCal. All right, everybody, music for tonight's show is a little bit of Spy Shack at the beginning, a lot of Chaos Kass, and I'll probably throw in Spy Shack at the end. Why not?
Why not?
That's right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching. We had more viewers tonight than we have ever had, except for the one time we had Andrea Belkey on. We had a lot of viewers on that night.
I wonder why.
Yeah, a lot of viewers. And that one is available on our website, by the way, and on iTunes. Thanks again for listening, everybody. That is all I've got. How about you, Dave?
I'm done.
All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.
We talked our strategies in vain. Though Trish, a simple plan I tried. We talked some more, my trust you tore. A queen, you would not be denied. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I tried talking to you. We tried to explain all was just in vain. Maybe it's your tattoo. You came in like a wrecking ball. You almost made our kingdom fall. You must think that you're the queen of all your bossy plans, they annoy me. Yeah, you annoy me. I tried to talk beside the fire, but you were never gonna turn. Trish sat and heard our every word, and she quickly did discern that I might hear her say, won't you come our way? Our group really wants you. And I might just agree, you aren't good for me. Chaos just might ensue. I might come in like a wrecking ball. Time to make your shaky kingdom fall. Since you think that you're the queen and all, with all your bossy plans you annoy me. So I might come in like a wrecking ball. Don't you mess with me, you crazy cop. All I wanted was some compromise. All you ever did was annoy me. Yeah, you annoy me. start a war. I just wanted you to compromise, maybe even shut your mouth before I must apologize. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to compromise. Now I have to improvise. You don't see my plan or my sleight of hand. It's time to blindside you. It's time to bring out chaos, Kass. Just take things up and show my sass. No one knows how dangerous I am, but tonight they all will. They all will see. This time I brought out chaos, Kass. May you look like you were middle class. As your torch was snuffed, you couldn't grasp how I took your crown and crowned me. Yeah, you crowned me. Yeah, you crowned me. The Spy Shack is a little hidden place where we can spy together. The Spy Shack Tony. Spy Shack Tony! Spy Shack, that's where Tony's at. Spy Shack, that's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking, Tony is a listening, wearing next to nothing cause it's hot as a mud. The whole shack shimmies cause Tony is a moving around and around and around and around. Everybody's talking, Tony is a listening, baby. Tribe doesn't know, Tony wants to get sound. Everybody's talking, Tony is a listening, baby. Private little shack, private little spy shack. Look at my biceps, much bigger than yours, and I'm about to hear woo. I've got me a spot where I can be sneaky, so come on, and we can spy on Lindsey. The Spy Shack is a little hidden place where we can spy together. Spy Shack Tony. The Spy Shack Tony. Spy Shack Tony, Spy Shack. Spy Shack, oh, Tony, baby, Spy Shack. Pom-poms, make the door, baby. A little more sturdy, Tony. Pom-poms, make the door, baby. I can't hear you. Pom-poms, make the door, Tony. Pom-poms, make the door. Pom-poms, make the door, baby. Pom-poms. You're what?
Spy Shack busted.
Spy Shack, Tony, Spy Shack. Baby, that's where it's at. Spy Shack, Tony, Spy Shack. Tony, Spy Shack, Tony, Spy Shack. There'll be Spy Shack, Tony, Spy Shack. Watching at the Spy